Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Eagles here in South Philadelphia. Coming up, two teams ready to square off. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. Tirico along with Greg Olsen. That is Jake Elliott getting this one started. Off we go from South Philly. On the return, it's Keaton Mitchell. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Jackson. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. Hit as he throws and is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
This opening drive not going as scripted. It is 3rd and long. Now, deep ball for Bateman. That's caught! And he will dive into the end zone. 86 yards. Touchdown, Baltimore. Terrific way to start this one, Greg, on the opening drive. Getting the ball in the air, down the field, and into the end zone for 6.
We wondered all week, Mike, if this secondary would get tested, especially as the game progressed. Well, we didn't have to wait very long. I mean, a big play early, and we got ourselves a 6-0 ball game.
The PAT, up and good. And the Ravens will take a 7-0 lead. Touchdown. Luke is back out to kick this one away. Here comes Will Shipley on the return. And he stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. Off the play fake, Hurts. That's caught downfield by Smith. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. Big-time play for Philly. 33 yards.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and
that's over the middle and intercepted. It's the safety, Kyle Hamilton. And the Ravens are going to have it. They'll take over at their own 24-yard line.
Well, that's the fast start they talked about all week, Mike. You come out, you take the immediate lead with your opening drive. Your defense goes out there, they force a turnover early. All these plays allow you to just keep stacking momentum early in this ball game. This game is far from over, but anytime you get out to a start like this, it is a lot harder for your opponent to battle back.
He'll look for Flowers downfield. That is brought in. And he will take this one Baltimore. On is Luke to add the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Ravens move out on top, 14-0. Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. Here is Shipley on the return. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
It's a three tight end look as they have it first and 10.
No touch that. On anyone that. No touch.
First carry for Saquon Barkley. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7.
From the 32-yard line now, here's second and 7.
No touch.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Oh, he thought he had a man across the field, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. We saw it earlier. The defense on the quarterback with the earlier interception. And now, Greg, not only do they pick him, they turn it into a pick 6.
And, Mike, the reality is this has just been a bad first half throwing the football. I mean, not only is it a second interception, but this time the defense gets their hands on the ball, and they're able to take it all the way back for the pick 6.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. Here is Shipley on the return. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field.
Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Great, set. On anyone that. No touch.
On the ground, it's Barkley to start the drive. Not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
A gain of a yard brings up second and 9 at the 23-yard line.
From the 23, here's second and 9.
Great, set. On anyone that. No touch.
Now Hurts going to call his own number. And he'll take this forward to the 26.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short game.
No touch.
On third down, here's Hurts. Now for the third time in the first quarter, he's been intercepted. Picked off by Chidobe Awuzie.
They'll take over first and 10.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now. Like, he just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
Play action now. Jackson. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's second down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
And they'll take this down inside the 35. They get 14 out of the screen, and it's a first down.
31-yard line.
Now the first carry for King Henry. And he brings it down to about the 28-yard line. Adoree Jackson makes the tackle.
Brings up second and 7.
Second and 7. From the gun, Jackson. A dive and a catch. Incredible. His second catch of the drive. This one good for 15 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
A give right up the middle to Henry. And it's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. Raven football, quarter number 2 begins. They've got it with a second down and 10. Throwing Jackson. Forced out wide. He's going to tuck it and go. Looking for the pylon, but the official right there is going to mark him out of bounds at the 1-yard line. They'll go big. 3 tight ends in the formation for first and goal. And he will take it in himself. Lamar Jackson. Touchdown, Ravens. The dual threat of the quarterback. When you have one that can run, why not use him, especially down here, Greg? And they punch it in for the touchdown.
There's nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than down here near the goal line when he can call his own number. In this case, that's exactly what he does, and he's able to take it in himself.
Eagles nothing.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. And this ball is not going to get to the 20, so that's whistled dead, and the ball gets placed at the 40-yard line. They'll come up first and 10 at the 40.
Great, set.
A shotgun snap now to Hurts. And he just does get that one away. He was being chased down, forced the awkward throw. Maybe he's fortunate that all it is an incompletion. They'll try again here, second and 10.
No touch, set. No touch.
On play action, here's Hurts. Brought in by the tight end Dallas guy. And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line. It is a big play for the Eagles. 35 yards.
How about that for your first catch of the game? I mean, to be able to attack the defense with your very first grab really sets things up nicely for the rest of the game. So defensively, they need to tighten up a little bit on the back end, because I promise you that's not going to be the last time they call his number.
He runs with it. The ball comes out. And fortunately, this is going to get out of bounds. So no turnover, and it's actually going to wind up a first down. Saquon. He's trying to push forward, but only a yard down to the 2.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional, you become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play. I typically like to see the play-action pass on the early downs, Mike. Now they find themselves on third down. The defense is more prepared for the pass. They get stopped twice with the run. Do they go back to it a third time and take their chances?
Forced to his right. Good blocking, and he's in. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg, could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead, and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Here comes a return from the 3. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. They'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line. It's a nice start to the drive, a gain of 10, and a quick first down.
Well, a really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to 3rd down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not, and be taken down there.
Jackson sacked. A loss of 2 yards. It's 2nd down.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Back to throw, Jackson. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Zay Flowers, the intended receiver. 3rd down coming up. Jackson. He's got his man down the field. It is a big completion. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
That's good for Baltimore. 1st down. A gain of 19 yards. And a Raven 1st down.
Now, Jackson. He'll get this one out to his fullback.
Well, not exactly a highlight reel type play, but in some cases, just checking the ball down to your fullback, picking up some positive yards is the only play that's to be made.
So the Eagles will use their first timeout here. It comes with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Again, it's Jackson. A throw, left side, caught by Andrews. And they're going to be set up now as he's brought down at the 5-yard line. A big play there for Baltimore. An even 40 yards. Well, here's the chance to cap off a great half. They have it 1st and goal. To the air one more time to Jackson. His throw on 1st down is going to be incomplete. Now the Ravens use their first timeout, and they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play. Jackson up top again. That one taken in, middle of the end zone. Mark Andrews, touchdown Baltimore.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the 4th quarter in 2-minute mode. Now let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the 1st half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here going into halftime changes this entire game.
Just 8 seconds now until halftime, and the kick's away.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10.
Great. Hey, 73, 70. On anyone, huh? Hey, silver.
Dotson, the man in motion.
No touch.
A 1st down throw for Hurts. Taking a shot downfield for Smith. And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Alohi Gilman. That's the intermission. It has been an entertaining one to this point. Back with the second half in just a moment. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Here is Shipley on the return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25.
On the return. The Eagles take over first and 10.
So here's a first and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
No touch, no touch.
From the shotgun, it's Hurts. Oh, for the fifth time, he is intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead. Unbalanced look here to the right side on first and 10. Jackson looking to throw. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout there. That's going to bring up second down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 15.
A gain of 15 yards.
A pickup of 15 in the air. First down, Baltimore.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
To throw is Jackson. To the goal line and in. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown, Ravens. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his fourth touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
To kick off for Baltimore.
Now, after the touchdown, Loop is back out to kick this one away. Here is Shipley on the return. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Great. Set.
They'll start on the ground with Barkley. And a very elusive run there. He winds up gaining about 9 yards.
25-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
From the 35, here's second and a yard.
No touch, no.
Once again, it's Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles first down. He'll get this up past the 40-yard line.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen, and not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2, but it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor, and when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
That's to the right side and incomplete. He's trying to find Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield.
It leads to second.
And it'll lead to a second down.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down.
And he's out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
That's good.
They get 16 on that connection. Good for an Eagles first down.
10 at the 44-yard line.
Great. Set. No touch.
On play action, Hurts. He'll take a shot here, back of the end zone. That is caught. What a throw. Devontae Smith, touchdown, Eagles.
And this special connection between this quarterback and his receivers, it was on full display right there. Great job getting behind the defense, and then what can you say about that ball? I mean, you can't put that ball in a better spot, and with timing and accuracy like that, leads to 6.
Turns again. That's going to be incomplete. That would have been a tough grab. The collision jarred it loose. The try for 2 is unsuccessful. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. On the return, it's Mitchell. Oh, he's got room past the 30. He'll wind up getting this all the way to the 45-yard line.
Let's go.
On first down, they'll start the drive with Henry. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down.
So as we take a look at the box score, Mike, you realize here, they got the lead. We're in the second half, but they don't have a lot of rush yards. It's because they use the passing game to score points and establish the lead. Now, how we judge their run game is from here to the end of the game. Can they pile up yards now in the second half and close this game out? He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put it into that play really before it ever got started.
3rd and a yard.
Alrighty.
They'll try and run for this with Henry. They'll be brought down at the 37, but that is good enough for a first down. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They'll try to throw here with Jackson. Now, deep ball for Bateman. Nice job there. On that return, gives them breathing room up past the 30-yard line.
Jackson's pass.
Mike, it's very simple in the NFL. You're just not going to win a lot of games when you're losing the turnover battle to this degree. And it's their struggles protecting the football. They've continued to hurt them here today, and that's why they find themselves trailing at this point in the game.
Great. Set. No touch.
Play action. Here's Hurts. That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, and it'll be second down.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
Second down, zone read, and he keeps it.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
They need 8 as they come up for third down.
Great. Set. Nope.
To throw is Hurts. Throw to the sideline. Well done. Good job with the feet. Stays in bounds. It looks like, and yes, they do, have the first down.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
He's going to air this one out looking for Dotson. And he will finally be taken down. How about that? A really big play as the final one here in the third. So, 3 quarters now in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Down at the 12. It's 1st and 10.
Great. Set.
Hurts now. He's got it at the 3. And he'll take it on in. Dallas Goedert. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. At least a little payoff with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight.
That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
I'm always curious how a defense is going to respond. So you give up a touchdown, you give up 6, and now the offense is trying to extend it to 8. How are you going to buckle down? How are you going to hang in there? In this case, let's give them a little credit. Keep those 2 off the board, and they can come to the sideline and regroup.
This fielded at about the 9. Now an opening past the 30. Oh, very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. Now it's a bootleg with Jackson. Now he'll run it.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn it to a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
On second down, here's a run with Henry. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the first down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
Henry, the ball carrier. Tackle made at the 49-yard line. A gain of 1. It's 4th down and less than a yard.
The offense is out there, 4th and inches. In the shotgun, here's Jackson. He's got his tight end, that's Andrew. And he's going to have the Ravens first down. They wind up getting 13 yards on that 4th down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Here's Jackson. He's going to air this one out. And the ball out of the reach of the receiver. Ball's incomplete.
I can sit up here all day, Mike, and we could talk about the missed throw, but I think a lot of the credit has to go to the pass defense. Not only did they do a good job making it difficult for them to complete the pass, but I think they saved the touchdown along the way.
That's going to be intercepted.
Well, if there's one thing we can say about this quarterback, Mike, is he has certainly been entertaining. I mean, there's been a lot of good, a little bit of bad, and it's kind of come all over the place, but as many nice throws as he's made, he's got to cut down on some of the interceptions.
And more of the same. Another interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg their 2nd pick-6 of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's 1 pick-6, but to get 2 pick-6s in the same game, this defense is on fire.
Luke now for the extra point. And he missed it. It's no good. One of the few things that's gone wrong so far. So they're unable to add 1 more point onto this big lead. Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Tank Bigsby. And he'll work this one past the 25, so right about the 28-yard line.
28-yard line.
Great. Delta.
On first down, it's Hurts. Now a screen set up for Barkley. He's got room past the 35. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. About 15 yards to kick off the drive. It's a first down. So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment.
Great, set.
On first down, it's Hurts. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver there. It's second down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Oh, he's got a man. His tight end, Goddard. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
41-yard line.
No touch it. On anyone, yeah? No touch.
To the air again, Hurts. Now a deep ball looking for Brown. And the Ravens are going to take possession here as they get it at their own 4.
Well, Mike, this is entering the wrong kind of rarefied air. I mean, as in, it's only happened a handful of times since the turn of the millennium rare. It's an entire season's worth of picks thrown in just one game. I think at this point, you junk the playbook, you light it on fire, and we're just going to start from scratch next week.
Back near his goal line, Jackson. That's downfield, and he's got Andrews, his tight end. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
First down. A gain of 18 on the play.
Now it's Jackson. Right back to Andrews. He's got another one. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. First and 10.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson. A quick slant to Flowers.
Jackson's pass. Complete to Zay Flowers. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second and 3.
Second down, they need 3.
37-yard line.
Again, it's Jackson. Going up top and looking for Flowers.
So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
Third and short, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
Fourth down, Jackson. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. He's going to have a Ravens first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. There's a gain of 18.
First down.
Jackson up top again. Out to his right. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with the lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
Searching for his Pro Bowl tight end, Mark Andrews, that time. Now it's going to be third down. Here we go. One final play. And the final throw of the game winds up incomplete, and that will do it. This one comes to an end. So it is a win here for the visitors, the Ravens. They got out of the gates hot, ran out to the big first quarter lead, and did not look back as they cruise in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.